Hey, I want to dive right in today and talk about if is all truth relative, right? Because we hear that a lot nowadays. Well, that's my truth. And you'll hear people say that, especially in like universities and things. There was a speaker that was speaking on stage about Christianity and logic and things like that, and someone stood up in this. They were able to ask questions, so they stood up, they asked the question, and they really made a statement. They said, "How can you know anything to be true? Because all truth is relative." And therefore, the speaker is a very smart guy. He said, well, therefore, your statement is relative. So how can we believe your statement? That's your truth, right? You believe that all truth is relative. So therefore, if all truth is relative, your statement is relative. Therefore, it could be not true. So that I'm not trying to confuse you, but that statement in itself is self-defeating. So there has to be a benchmark, right? There has to be a law. There has to be a guideline, a measuring stick that tells us what's true and what's not true, right? If you say my truth, it makes me feel good to steal things. So I'm going to go into my neighbor's house. I'm going to steal their TV. You know what? Because that makes me feel good. So therefore it is right. Therefore I should be able to do it. And you could take that down a much deeper, sinister, storyline for analogies as well. Of course, I'll try to keep it more uplifting. But you see, that's the way of the world nowadays. The way of the world is it feels good to me, therefore it must be right. That's true for me, right? I think I'm a dog, so I identify as a dog, right? We're not going to go down that road, but you get the point. That's what we're seeing nowadays. All truth is relative. And so therefore, maybe just this devotion today is really just kind of to remind you and prepare you to know that that's an illogical statement that all truth is relative. All truth, including people's truths, what feels good to them, therefore they can do that. It's not true. It's not able to be true because there has to be a guideline. And so if there, you could say, well, it's just a matter, if it doesn't hurt anybody, it doesn't matter. Then you start talking, okay, well, then where's the line? Where's the line that you draw on what's true and what's not true, right? If I say it's true for me that it makes me feel good to kill people, I'm going to go and murder someone, you're going to say, no, that's morally wrong. Okay, I can get behind that. That is morally wrong. Absolutely. It's morally wrong to steal as well, right? So it's, if those are morally wrong, who decides whether that's morally wrong? Well, it can't be you and me because we're the participants, right? There has to be someone outside of time and space to determine whether these are morally correct or morally wrong. And so, for there to be a moral law, there has to be a moral law giver. Okay, so therefore, there has to, and we know as Christians that that's God. And so, don't ever get, I guess today's really the topic is just to remember, don't get caught up in all of this, it feels good, she feels good type stuff. They can do whatever they want. There are repercussions. There will be consequences to living your truth. The only truth that will last for eternity is God's truth. And we can find that in his word, in his inspired scripture, which we know to be true. We know to be alive. We know that it will not come back to him void. And so if you want to change your life, if you want to know the real truth and know really the benchmark for your life and what you need to be doing and the way you need to be living and just the blessings that God has for you, look inside of his truth. His truth is not relative. His truth is concrete, and his truth will last for eternity. And so that is the Bible, the scripture. I highly just challenge you. Dive in, especially the New Testament. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is no way you could read through the New Testament and it not change your life. And remember, the Old Testament is not, it's not irrelevant, but we look at the Old Testament now through the viewpoint of the New Testament because Jesus fulfilled all of those prophecies. Jesus fulfilled everything that was to come true in the New Testament, and now we live according to Jesus's law and teachings that he fulfilled. So once again, all truth is not relative. God's truth is not relative. He is the moral law giver. He will last for eternity. And I highly suggest that you start diving into that inspired scripture so you can be, really just be informed, be educated, be inspired, and be blessed through the love in the mercy and the grace of Jesus Christ. Okay, so I appreciate you. Thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you back next week. Take care. Bye.